as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Rodgers. And he slings one that's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
26.
Now it's Rodgers. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
Well, talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive had started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this to Lazard. Down inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Now Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They run with a 2nd-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. Well, connection there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
On play action, now Rodgers. Throw right side, going to be complete to DeGuara. And it's a Packers touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's Wilson to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Another incompletion there. That's 5 in a row now to start this game. He's got to take a deep breath now, step back, shake it off a little bit, trust his offensive line, and hope that his play caller dials up something that can give him a completion and get him going.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure.
They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. Look at the big man rumble. The 20, 10, 5, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Touchdown! Christian Watson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. The drive starts with a completion left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall punching it in from a yard away. And the Jets get a bit closer. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple, because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. but also it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On play action, Rodgers. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Christian Watson with his second touchdown in this opening quarter, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Boy, CD, what a start for them. Still in the first quarter, they're absolutely blitzing them. All the points that they put up, I'm not sure what you say on the other sideline right now.
I think it's as simple as this, partner. The way that they're playing, there's no limits on what this league could become.
Now Crosby for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Crosby on now to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different.
Under pressure, they got him again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. On the return comes Cobb. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one we saw there.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Christian Watson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are able to add on to their first-half lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get
fighting to get back to the goal line? I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They've put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Now Cobb to return. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And got his man complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
He finds his receiver, Watson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are pouring it on. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2nd and 2. Now Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. The 30. 10. 5. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 3rd down, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. He'll let this go deep for Lazard. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works. Sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Garrett Wilson, 72 yards. And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. This time, the extra point up and good. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first two quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They gave it a shot with the deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get three before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing is Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And again, it's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. A final shot before half for Rodgers. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Crosby on now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilson. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Hall. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. On 1st down, Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On play action, now Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Moore, the man in motion. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
Rodgers, complete once again to Watson. And it's a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson, 36 yards. And the Packers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time you start stretching and loosening it up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he returns this to the 22. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is the spot. Third quarter inside Lambeau. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Now it's Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on third down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .21 yards. Well done on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jetsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense.
And now here's another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4.
And he's going to go down. They get get to him back at the 40. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And some room to maneuver. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy, because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Crosby with the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Throwing after the interception. White. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And some room to run now. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Back to the air on second down. White. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jets get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth-quarter deficit. Zuerlein connects on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but I mean, they are deserving as they start another series to be leading by this much with so much time.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now Rodgers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. To throw, White. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Eric Wilson drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point, where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is, For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point try now for Crosby. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed two, but this one is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's White. He's got the connection to Moore. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Packers, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.
play with my name, you come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach, put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I could jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches.